Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. In this particular video, I want us to talk about Millicent Omanga, the Chief Administrative Secretary responsible for the security of the Republic of Kenya. And yes, I want us to talk about that leaked video. And I'm not going to talk about the juicy part which you want to hear. That juicy part, guys, you will go, I know Andrew Kibe is preparing something for you there. So even personally, I'll be heading there. He has already released something and I know he's going to add us something. Or alternatively, for those who are on IG, Instagram, you can wait for Obare to give you or to serve you some tea. But for me, I want us to look at the lessons which Millicent Omanga should be able to learn from these particular incidents. And the first question which I want to ask ourselves is whether this video is true or false. For me personally, number one, with the era of deep fake, for those who don't understand deep fake, let me just go to what Wikipedia or what how Oxford dictionary defines it. Deep fake is a video of a person in which their face or body has been digitally altered so that they can appear to be someone else, typically used maliciously or to spread false information. So the truth of the matter is that with the era of deep fake, you can't tell whether a video or a photo is true or fake. It's normally done in a way that you will not be able to know. So in this era, I can't really tell whether that video, because I've watched it, actually belongs to Millicent Omanga. But there's also the possibility, number two, that the video could actually be real. And in case it is real, should we blame Millicent Omanga? Personally, I would not blame Millicent Omanga because she is an adult, and in case of anything, consenting adult. But I would place my blame on the person who leaked that video, in case it's true, because I don't want to imagine that that video is true. But in case the video is true, the person who leaked it, what was his intention? If you go to Twitter today, since morning, Millicent Omanga is trending at number one. In fact, Millicent Omanga has united this country. You know, if you want to unite this country, bring only two things. Number one, bring a scandal. If you bring a scandal in this country involving probably sex, involving corruption, you know, if you do that, Kenyans will be united. The other way you can unite this country is by having a Kenyan competing internationally. For example, if Eliud Kipchoge is competing internationally, rest assured that Kenyans will be united. Once that's gone, we come back to our cocoon and we continue with our division. So if you go to Twitter right now, very interesting that Millicent Omanga is trending at number one. At number two is Betty Maina. Millicent Omanga is trending at number one because of that video. Betty Maina is trending at number one because she's getting married to a fellow member of parliament, Kenya Kwanza. At number three, Kenya Kwanza is trending. Probably because Kenya Kwanza is being mentioned. At number four previously was Karen Nyamu. I'm seeing it has just changed to now number five. But the person who was trending at number four was Karen Nyamu. Karen Nyamu was trending because, or is still trending there, because she came into the defense of Millicent Omanga. But I don't want to get into that. I just want to be a bit of kind of positive and slightly negative. Before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And by the way, the video of Millicent Omanga is not the first one, if it's true. We've seen leaders and their videos with this era of WhatsApp leaking left, right, and center. There was another time, I think a namesake from Kakamega thought she was sending some video in a bathsuit to the lover. Apparently, that video ended up in their WhatsApp group, MCS from Kakamega, and that's how it leaked. Previously, I think there were also some videos of Rachel Shebes, who I think one of my friends, Roy Kohada, lost his life because of those videos, because he came to the defense of Rachel Shebes, and in the end, the person he accused of leaking those videos is believed to have eliminated him. That was, I think, it was in 2014, 2013, thereabout. But what lesson can we learn, or can Millicent Omanga learn from this particular incident? Because that's the most important thing. These things, they do happen. You know, we are human beings. For me, the first lesson which Millicent Omanga should learn from this, whether the video is true or not, the first lesson she must learn is that integrity is key in life. And just like Robert Greene is advising on his law 5, that so much depends on reputation. You know, Millicent Omanga is trending because of this video, but the kind of comments people are making against her, they are not sympathetic to her. You know, this is a woman, a mother, but Kenyans are not sympathetic to her. Why do you think Kenyans are not sympathetic to her? Kenyans are not sympathetic to Millicent Omanga. In fact, they are celebrating because Millicent Omanga has not carried herself with the highest integrity as a leader. Millicent Omanga is currently the Chief Administrative Secretary, who is supposed to be fighting bandits somewhere deep in Baragoi. The moment she was appointed and the moment she carried her Bible, the first thing she did was to come online and dance. The next thing she did was to show Kenyans, the big nyash in a gym. If you compared her to Moses Kuria, before Moses Kuria was appointed as a PS, as a CS, he was reckless. But the moment Moses Kuria was appointed as a cabinet secretary of the Republic of Kenya, he publicly assured Kenyans that he was going to change. He was no longer going to use the words he used to use before. He was no longer going to abuse or insult, for example, Raila Odinga, the way he used to do before. And indeed, since that time, it's very hard to find Moses Kuria messing around. You can't tell me that Moses Kuria stopped drinking. He's still drinking. You can't tell me Moses Kuria cannot abuse. He still can't do that. But now, with that responsibility of being CS, Cabinet Secretary, it meant that he had to change his ways. So for me, Millicent Omanga, whether this is true or not, she has learned that Kenyans are not sympathetic to her. And therefore, she must now start taking her integrity seriously. Because with that, Kenyans would actually be sympathetic to her. You can't imagine that Kenyans went as far as trying now to dig deep. You know, the video emerged, circulated. Most people suspect, could this be Omanga? She's not Omanga. Because of the hatred they have towards her, Kenyans went further and dug deeper and found that dress, the same dress, while she was planting some tree somewhere there. And now they are linking that dress to the dress in the video. If she was carrying herself differently, probably Kenyans would not have gone that. In fact, they are even saying that there's a second video, which I don't want to see. The second lesson Millicent Omanga need to know is that she must again follow Robert Greene's law number 19, which stipulates that you must know the people you are dealing with. What kind of friends do we have? What can they do at our most vulnerable moments? Can they blackmail us? Can they betray us? Because if it's true this is Millicent Omanga, then I read someone who is out to either blackmail Millicent Omanga or to betray Millicent Omanga. So we must know the people we are dealing with, especially when you have to, because for a woman to undress for you as a man, it means you've already subdued her. She has already surrendered to you. That's her most vulnerable moment. So as a man, you cannot go ahead and expose or even leak the videos. Assuming based on that video that she was sleeping, because after the marathon, you know, game ilikuwa poa, amechizi hapo. Why should you as a man take your phone and then record? That is even infringing on someone's privacy. You record, even if you are just recording it for the sake of it. You can't trust your phone. Your phone can be stolen by someone else, then it will land in a wrong hand. So next time, Millicent Omanga must know the kind of people she's interacting with. And not only her, all of us, because we are human beings. These things, they do happen. The third thing Millicent Omanga and any elected leader must know, because these things happen daily, but sometimes you bump on these videos, but you don't know the person. Once you are a leader, then you must be aware of your privacy. Where do you go? Who do you meet? What do you do? By who? With who? What will be the consequences? So that next time, if the same were to happen, then you'll insist, we ingia hapa, weka simu yako huko. If you go to some of these highly guarded offices, like you want to go and visit a cabinet secretary, or you want to go and visit, there's a time I visited Matiang'i at his office with a friend. You leave your phone huko. Because there's a fear that you can even record whatever you are seeing there, which is not right. You can even record your conversation. You can even record things which are not going on right there. So at some point, you have to leave your phone. So it would mean that next time, as a leader, you have to be very careful and aware of your privacy. In case it's likely to be infringed, what do you do? Ukiingia kwa room, si watu wawache simu huko. Because these people have money. Their rooms sio kama zile zenu za kitanda hapa, kuna ka space tu ya kutembea na kuna cho pale. No. These guys, I think they even have mali ya kuweka vitu. So you just insist hapa tuweke hizo vitu huko, because today we are not talking of the man. Whether the person is Omanga or not, we are not talking of the man. We are talking of the lady. The other lesson is that phones should not be allowed in the wrong hands. Phones should not be allowed in the wrong hands. And this is, for me, very important lesson which we are learning. Sometimes you can be overtaken. Maybe you took 1 or 2 for the road. You are gauging. You got in there. But it's important to ensure that phones don't land in wrong hands. You might even find that the person who took this video never intended to share it and even never shared it. But probably the man gave the phone to the kid or the woman. I remember when the issue of Boys Club came up, because it involved a lot of my friends. The videos which leaked from one of them, the chats from one of them. The man came home drunk. Then the the wife just decided to take his finger, akaweka pap. When he was asleep, simu ikajifungua. The guy was asleep. The lady just read the messages, took screenshots, and forwarded to her phone. When the man woke up tomorrow, the next day in the morning, the woman was not there. When the man checked the phone, he realized, oh, this lady had forwarded these messages to Barry. So by the time they were trying to fix that, it was late. So phones should not be allowed in wrong hands. And the last lesson for me is that we must engage mature people when it comes to business. Serious business for that matter. Know the person you are engaging with. Don't just open the server to every person, including people who will blackmail you. If it's a serious business, engage with mature people. As a leader, you will live long. Because all these leaders, all of them, they have someone somewhere who is just praying for such kind of a small mistake to erupt. You see the way Millicent Omanga has today united the country to an extent that for the first time, she's quoting the Bible. Thank you guys. Until next time, Makwiny.